Hello everybody, I have been thinking a lot about my relationship with my stuff. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. If you're new here, my name is Leah. I'm uploading videos twice a week about minimalism and sustainable living. So if you're interested in this topic, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And now let's get started. Sometimes in minimalism, it is really strange how we value our belongings. So on one side, we might love our underwear because it protects us so much, but on the other hand, we're getting rid of the most sentimental items we own. How does that work? So this seems really strange to me, but at the same time, that is the same for me. I really like all of my stuff because it does so much for me. It helps me having the life I have right now. It helps me fulfilling my dreams. It helps me doing what I want to do. But on the other hand, I really don't care about my stuff because it's really not what defines me. So maybe we have to go a little bit deeper into this. So maybe again it comes down to our definition of minimalism. And minimalism can be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And sometimes I am not sure what minimalism is exactly for me. Because on one hand, it is detaching from my belongings. It is getting distance between me and the need to own materialistic things. It is even somehow a practice of not owning things because I don't get fulfillment from owning stuff. But on the other hand, it is making sure that the things I have add value. It is making sure I have the perfect items to support my lifestyle. It is making sure that I surround myself very intentionally with the things that bring me joy and are useful to me. So, of course, if you take away all of my stuff, I would be very sad because I spent a lot of time thinking about which items I want to have around me, which items support me, and I'd had to collect these out of the world again if all of my stuff was gone. But at the same time, I wouldn't really be that sad because it's just stuff. It's just stuff. And most of it is exchangeable. Of course, I don't mean in a environmentally harmful way. I think we should really care about our stuff, and I think we should make sure that the resources are used properly and that we don't just throw things away that can be used, and that we also don't just buy things that we will discard later. So I really think we should make an effort to try to be very eco-friendly and make sure the resources are used well. So I think it is very important to be very mindful with the things you own, but for me, minimalism is also a lot about not owning, or just not having the things you don't want to have, or even not being super attached to the things you own. The question is if minimalism is actually very materialistic, because if you spend so much time and energy focused on which items you want to have, then it has a very consumerist and materialistic side. But if you just don't think at all about your stuff, maybe you can't live that intentional, and maybe that does take away from your energy, stress, time, whatever. So I think we have to really think about our items, but also we shouldn't think about them too much. Because if we don't spend enough time thinking about our belongings, we maybe have belongings that do not serve our life. For example, my old laptop computer, that was really slow. If I still had my laptop computer, I could not make YouTube videos. It wouldn't be possible. But so I really have to think about what kind of computer I want to own. And I really have to make sure that I have a good item, a good piece of possession there that supports me in my everyday life. I also think that it is important that we have clothing items that we feel comfortable and beautiful in. So we don't have to think about our clothing all that much while we're wearing it and feeling comfortable, and so we can focus on the things that we really want to focus on. But on the other hand, it doesn't make sense to think that much about clothing, so it takes away from your energy that way. So I think there is a scenario where you are a minimalist and where you're constantly thinking about perfecting the things you own, where you're constantly thinking about your stuff. And some people might think that it's not good, and some people might think if you want to achieve the ultimate minimalist goal, you have to do that, because you really have to think about what else you could get rid of, what else you could get, like one item instead of two you already have, and things like that. And on the other hand, if you want to be a minimalist that really doesn't think about his or her items at all, you might not be such an extreme minimalist when it comes to the items you own. You might have more items because you have old items, you have items you don't really care about because you just don't think about them that much, so you don't realize when you could get rid of them. And so maybe your goal isn't even to have less and less and less stuff. That's something I'm thinking a lot about. And I think for myself, I'm maybe thinking too much about my stuff, because I really am focused a lot of time on having the perfect amount of items, having the perfect items for my lifestyle. And so I maybe should focus less on them, maybe practice more mindfulness when it comes to like spending my time and spending my thoughts on topics that are productive and not just about how and what kind of a minimalist I am. But I think there are just both possibilities, because you can't be such an extreme minimalist if you don't take the time to think about which items add value and which really don't. But you can maybe have more time and focus more on the things that are important to you if you don't think about your items that much. So I'm really interested in what you think about this topic. Let me know your perspective, and also let me know if you think that you kind of have to decide what kind of minimalist you want to be. So you could either be a minimalist that really focuses on his or her belongings and what these are, or a minimalist that really does not focus at all about like on the belongings and just try to live a life not attached to belongings. That would really be interesting to me. So thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos, check out these right here. And until next time, bye!